Wake up, Zambia.
Good morning. Good morning.
A brand new morning experience is coming your way. Introducing the Power Breakfast, where the queens of breakfast serve up the hottest conversations, freshest hits, and everything you need to start your day right. Catch the Queens of Breakfast every weekday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Power FM and Dstv. And no, this isn't an April Fool's joke. It all begins April 1st. Power up your mornings with the Power Breakfast.
Power Breakfast. Today on Drink Different, we've got a different game.
Exactly. So all you gotta do is guess the sound right. If you know what sound it is to come through, that is on 0979192485 or 0955997997. You can also catch us on Dstv, that is channel 92 on Topstar. If you are watching us, you can also participate. If you are very far, maybe you're not in Lusaka, you can send somebody who is close in town to come and pick up your hamper courtesy of Fit by Vatra. We do have 5 amazing different flavors. We have orange, we have blueberry, tropical, grape, naji. Actually, we do have 6 as well as mixed berry. So you can get one of those, but you stand a chance of walking away with a hamper courtesy of Fit by Vatra. So we're going to play your sound. We have muffled it up a little bit. If you know what song it is, do come to you, tell us the artist, tell us the title. You can also tell us the producer. You can also tell us who featured. You can also tell us who wrote if you want.
It's all up to you. But here is the sound.
Drink Different Power Breakfast. Brought to you by Vatra Mineral Water. Vatra, made for all, made for life.
That is the song. So do tell us, what song is that? Who sang it? It's as easy as you calling us up. That's on 0955-997-997 or on 0979-192-485. I'm going to play the soundbite one more time. Just tell us who sang this song and what's the name of this very song.
Drink Different Power Breakfast. Brought to you by Vatra Mineral Water. Vatra, made for all, made for life.
Even though we may have played around with it, it does kind of sound like a song that I would listen to in its current form.
Really?
Yeah, if you just like play with it, just tweak it a little bit, especially the wee woo. Don't know what that is, but
so
it's
now
definitely
here's the
something.
question: like, what do you want to hear from the song? You want to hear the message? You want to hear the beat? What do you want to hear?
But no, let's be honest. A lot of these songs don't have a message. It's just for the vibes.
Right. She just shot them.
If I just said the truth.
It's here for the vibes. I just came for the vibes. Hello, it's you to the Power Breakfast. Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
We are doing well, thank you. How are you doing yourself?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Who are we speaking to this morning?
Maponga.
All right, Maponga. 4 digits of your NRC.
1964.
Okay, tell us the title of the song.
Title of the song is Chocolate and Caramel. Ooh-wee, by Manuel.
By who?
Manuel.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much for coming through.
It's wee woo. What are you saying? Thank you so much, Maponga. To stay tuned.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
What do you think? Are you in agreement, or do you think it's a different song? That's on 0955-997-997 or on 0979-192-485. All we need to know is what the name of this particular song is.
Drink Different Power Breakfast. Brought to you by Vatra Mineral Water. Vatra, made for all, made for life.
Maybe it's not the song that you're thinking of. Maybe it is the song that you're thinking of. To come through, give us a call. The number is 0979-192485 or 0955-997-997. What is the name of the song? Who sang it? Who featured in it? I mean, if you want, you can tell us the producer for you to gain some extra brownie points. If you know who it is, do come through and stand a chance of walking away with a hamper courtesy of Fit by Vatra. And I'm telling you, it comes in a lot of amazing flavors. You do have the blueberry, the tropical, the grape, the naji, the mixed berry, as well as the tropical. I did say tropical. Well, so these flavors are very much available for you. That is Fit by Vatra. Sports drink designed for you. That is maybe trying to work out in the gym, trying to start that sports journey. Maybe you want to start doing some 3Ks in the morning. I know Shekinah is on to
not
that.
doing that at all. Don't lie to people.
Is on to that.
You never see me running 3Ks. Which future?
In the future,
No.
we're looking at
Maybe
50
Shekinah the singer, yes.
50 years from now.
Oh, yeah. Why would I do that to myself at the time when my body is most weakest?
No, you can't. Sorry, what are you calling 50-year-olds?
As in, their body is weaker then at 50 than they were in their 20s.
I've seen some very healthy 50-year-olds.
But they were not as strong as they were in their 20s.
No, they just have been waking up.
It's like saying the strength you had at 16, the energy you had at 16. Do you have it now?
But it can work.
Wait.
If you're working out.
Fortrace is that's a lie. They just say, I feel sweet 16, but you don't.
For real?
We don't.
It can work for you, though.
It's downhill from now on. It's the truth.
You know what?
But
One day you just find these people that you are shooting at the gate,
right?
Before you go like, so that's what you have been saying. You said we are weak.
I said it with my chest.
Say it outside there.
I'm saying it outside.
I said your body is weak, so you need some fit.
Exactly. If you're somebody that loves to push limits, then this is for you. It's Fit by Vatra that is here to replenish, to recharge, and to rehydrate with electrolytes that restore essential salts, but sugars as well, keeping you energized and ready for so much more. So whether you're in the gym or you're on the field, even on the sports track, Fit will help you stay on the track, literally. And once again, you can call us up. That's on 0955-997-997. And that's to tell us who sang this song and what is the name of this song.
Drink different power breakfast. Brought to you by Vatra Mineral Water. Vatra, made for all, made for life.
It's made for all and it is made for life. So do call us up right now. That's on 0955-997-997. What do you think the name of that particular song that we'll be playing a soundbite of is from? We've played around with it, obviously, just to tweak it, see here and there. And you just have to tell us what is the name of the song.
Yeah, maybe it might have been sung by an Indian artist, by a Zambian artist, by a Malaysian artist. It might have been sung by an artist from the US, from the UK. It might be anyone in the world who has talent and they decided to craft this song. But we just muffled it up a little bit. We just played with it. Otherwise, the song is very known. Yeah, I think it's one of the songs that did have a good time on TikTok. It spent its weeks, months on TikTok. And people were just vibing to this song. So if you think about it very hard, you know the song, you've heard it somewhere. But then, you know how your brain is when you hear something that's in reverse. Of course, you got to find a way of trying to put the pieces together. But I'm telling you, you know this song. I'm telling you. I know you do. I believe in you.
You okay?
I do believe in you. I'm giving you
out well. I didn't say getting aggressive. I believe in you.
I believe in you. Yes. Okay. Sometimes you need some positive aggression.
Positive aggression.
Yeah.
That's what I'm calling it.
Is that even a thing, though?
I have never heard of it before.
Yeah, positive aggression. I did see that somebody was doing that trend. I hope you find money in your account.
Oh, yeah.
I hope you find a full check ready for you when you go and sign that deal. I hope when you reach home, you rest and you have a lot of rest at home. That's positive aggression. I hope you, Shekinah, as you be going home today, I hope you meet someone that's going to change your whole perspective about life.
Okay. Hopefully in a good way.
Positive aggression. I'm
just saying that they changed my perspective in a good way.
Yeah,
not like, vanity. There's no point to living. So hopefully it will be positive.
I can't do this anymore.
Exactly. But if you think you can do this, if you're somebody that loves to push your limits and you're thinking, I think maybe I might have an inkling of what the song might be, do call us up right now. The phone lines are open and only for the next 2 minutes. So that's on 0955 997 997 or on 0979 192 485. All we need to know is something simple.
You know what you gotta do?
What is it?
DJ Shay, hit us up one more time.
Oh my gosh, not DJ Shay.
Drink Different Power Breakfast. Brought to you by Vatra Mineral Water. Vatra, made for all, made for life.
Well, so if you know what that song is, who sang it, do come through, give us a call. The number is 0979 192 485 or 0955 997 997. What is it? What song is it? If you know who sang it, if you know who featured on the song, if you know the title of the song, do come through and stand a chance of walking away with the hamper courtesy of Fit by Vatra. And I'm telling you now, this song, you know it. You just have to think. You know those deep words that they say. Look deep within you.
Oh my goodness.
Look in your heart, inside your heart.
The answer lies there.
It's there.
Okay.
These words, they will definitely come forward. So just look deep within you. Look within yourself. I'm trying.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm very thank you. How are you?
We are fantastic. Who are we speaking to?
I'm speaking to Richard.
Richard.
Yes.
Okay, Richard, may you please give us your last name and the first 4 numbers of your NRC?
The last name is Lewe. And you can that's what?
The first 4 numbers of your NRC.
Okay. 1,000.
1,000.
First 4, 1,000.
29.
Okay, so 1,002. Or say just 1,000. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Richard. Please do tell us who sang that song and what is the name of the song.
Chocolate and calamala.
Who sang the song?
Do you know who sang it? Oh, okay. He hung up. He was like, "That's it." I just want to say,
I feel like it's one of those songs that you only know
how to sing.
You just only know the famous part, like the chorus part.
That's it.
And you don't know who sang it. You're just like, okay. But that song that says, and then you're like, yeah, that song. But like, who sang it? But you're just like, that's the title of the song.
Okay. And well, time is up. We're going to go on a break. When we do come back, we'll announce who the winner is. If you're thinking, I wish I'd called in, well, you should have. But don't worry, we still have tomorrow. And we still have the rest of the show, actually, with more chances for you to walk away as a winner.
Drink Different Power Breakfast. Brought to you by Vatra Mineral Water. Vatra, made for all, made for life.
Alright, so if you came through and guessed it and said the title of the song is done by the one and only talented Money Wells, Chocolate and Caramel. Then you are definitely right. So our winner for today is Maponga. We need more. We need confetti here. That's not confetti.
I don't know what else you want from me. Okay, this is what I've got.
That's when I mentioned confetti.
This is what I've got. I can only give you, I would say, audio confetti, and that's it.
Yeah, that's cool. It's still cool. Still great. So congratulations to you to send in your full details. That is your NRC and your full NRC number and your name. and you can come and collect your hamper courtesy of Fit by Vatra. So
here is
I want to say this, DJ Shay.
Oh my gosh.
Hear this one more time.
Here's the one that we messed around with. And here is the actual original song.
Chocolate and caramel, ooh-wee. The sun kissed you and said, ooh-wee. Even the money said, ooh-wee. I dream at night and sing.
Drink different power breakfast. Brought to you by Vatra Mineral Water. Vatra, made for all, made for life.
December 1965, just after independence, if I thought it was independence. I've gone through schools. I'm an agricultural economist and also a would-be lawyer very shortly. I am president for Movement for Change and Equality, which was founded, I think, about 6 years ago. We've been on the landscape of politics for 43 years myself. Yeah, and I've been in political parties which emanate from UNIP, MMD, PF, and a little bit in the UPND, and we formed the Alliance.
What made you dive into law?
Pardon?
What made you dive into law to become a lawyer?
Well, I think it's just out of curiosity and also wanting to just be enlightened on how the law systems evolve. One of the things about governance is just about law. Law and governance and politics, there's a very thin line. So you'll find that it becomes very interesting that you should have a little bit of knowledge about how laws come about, how laws evolve, and how laws can be abused, and how power can also be used to either develop a nation or make it very underdeveloped.
Has it been working for you so far?
Pardon?
Has it been working for you?
It worked tremendous for me. Yes, worked tremendous. I'll tell you that as a student of law, one of the things that has happened in just the space of 5 years is that we are able to come up with bills for us when we form government to just implement them immediately.
All right. Okay, so now as a former partner of the UPND Alliance, how would you describe your current relationship with the Alliance or the New Dawn government after your departure, your resignation?
Very, you call it platonic, very cordial, nothing like hemophilia coming to me or them. I don't think so. I don't think so. They are colleagues. You know, politics is just exchange of ideas and debates. You can be for or against, so it shouldn't be a matter of life and death. So I don't see any animosity between myself, Akainde, Comrade Milopi, Mutati. I'm able to work. I talk to Akainde myself on the phone. I share certain videos. He's a very busy man, but we do share even what I feel should be done on particular issues. Yes.
Okay, so just to take you back a little bit though, I would like to find out what sparked your interest to enter into the political arena or the political space. What was it that thrust you into this?
Well, as I earlier said and intimated, is that I have been on the political landscape for 42 years. So I started my political career and journey when I was in Form 2. You can't believe that I was a district youth chairman when I was in Form 2. And those who know me, those who've grown up together, they will be able to attest that I didn't know that I started practicing politics. So it's like it's part of me.
Okay.
Wanting to serve.
Wanting to serve. And so now, with your desire to serve, so far from all the different, I would say, your interaction within the political arena, because you have got years of experience, what would you say are some of the key things that you have learned that you now still apply even today from the beginning?
Very, very important question. And I think even those who are aspiring for leadership in politics should take this very, very important. One of the things that I've learned is to be truthful and be honest to self, because many people have labeled politics to be a dirty game, which is not. It's the people and the intents which are not correct in many, many instances. The other thing I've learned is to have faith in oneself. And this faith, I mean, we're spiritual beings. So, yeah, but I've chosen to be a Christian myself. So that's another thing I've learned. The other thing I've learned is that most people who go into politics, purportedly leadership, they don't go there for good intent. The vast majority, even today as we are speaking, most of these political parties, they are not there to serve. I'm not trying to demean or criticize anybody, but this is what I've learned. I could be very wrong, but this is what I've learned.
Now, talking about intention, do you intend to join any political alliance in the future?
You see, joining political alliances is part of our constitutional mandate that we should associate with the like minds, whether they are political parties, they are corporate entities, individuals and the like. Those who wish to become members, they become members to our political party. But there's something very, very important that I have learned in the recent association in the UPND Alliance. And that is that, you see, when you crowd personal agendas other than the group agendas, it becomes very difficult to hold together. Yes. So for now, I wouldn't say that we are joining any other alliance, and may I also take a disclaimer that we are not saying that we will not join. So this is not my personal decision. It's a decision of the collectiveness of the members of the Movement for Change and Equality.
Can you run us through your decision as to why you decided to resign or rather step aside from the alliance?
Basically, what we are promising the people has not come to fruition by those of our colleagues who were given the opportunity and mandate to actually be in government. That is basically that. You know, there was 5 fundamentals that we agreed upon that we should do away from partisan persuasions and partisan interest, and also policy positions as political parties, including the UPND. So we had to agree on these fundamentals, which one of them is excruciating poverty for the Zambians, to deal with it, deal with the economy, deal with corruption, deal with the tribalism and the unity of the nation, and make Zambia a prosperous, such fundamentals. Now, if they are working against the very Zambians, I find it a little bit deceitful and hypocritical for me to continue. And also my colleagues found it not worth continuing in this particular alliance. The other reason is that I think when you're in an alliance, it's a partnership, and partnerships call for respect and also inclusiveness. I don't think our friends, particularly in the UPND, have treated this as a partnership. They treated other political parties as surrogates who should just toe the line and follow them. And it's not a good relationship.
Why have we seen this occurring too many times of why a lot of alliances are not working out. We have seen there is Uka, we have seen there is Tonse, we did see also the current government, the UPND, also formed alliances. Why have we seen that there is disassociation when it comes to alliances in Zambia?
Basically, it's the legal framework. One of the things that even I'm seeing as a danger to the current existing alliances after the UPND alliance is that the kind of legal framework we have emanating from the Constitution and the supportive laws is that first and foremost, the Constitution does not allow for a coalition government. Number two is that the governance of this country is a heavily presidential. Everybody toes the line of a president, one man, one office. And then the Constitution itself and the laws of Zambia are basically anti-development. I'll be able to dwell into that into another day when we will have space. It's a very loaded thing emanating from pre-colonial and slavery times, and these things has continued, and what we call independence does not exist actually, and it's well crafted in the laws of Zambia. So it is that makes it even functioning Republican presidents and governments not go beyond a particular threshold on service delivery to its people. It's a very complex issue, but it can be dismantled so that people can understand it that way.
Do you think it can be tilted a little bit so that we do have a coalition government? We did see that work for the ANC in South Africa.
That is very, very good and a positive thing. But beyond that, I think why the ANC succeeded, they did away with the colonial laws and they repealed them completely, enacted new laws. And these new laws is what they felt should be a delivery portal for themselves as a people. But for Zambia, it's a different ballgame. We even have a constitution which no Zambian participated in making. And we've been doing piecemeal amendments, which doesn't speak to anything. It's just for political expedience for a sitting government in government. So that's why we've been finding every regime that comes, they've got to do certain amendments, especially towards the elections. It has been there. You can just go down, you Google this, you can see these things. So this phenomenon does not speak to stability and sustainability. So it's this that you find that even institutions like political parties coming together cannot actually subside and subsist in this kind of environment, which is a little bit toxic and does not speak to what they want to achieve. So it becomes inhibiting, and then tilting is not what we need. We need to repeal the Constitution of Zambia and make a new constitution. And we've already done that. We've already drafted a new constitution for Zambia as Movement for Change and Equality.
Okay. Well, touching on I would say you touched on the amendments that usually you find that every single sitting party tries to change as they get closer to the elections, as you stated. So now the biggest conversation lately has been the constitutional amendments, of where a larger or other sections of society have said that they are not included within that conversation. Would you agree? Would you say it's just the current government leading the conversation?
I'll give two positions on that. The first position will be a personal position.
Okay.
The other one will be our party position,
okay,
which is a policy position. First and foremost, for me as an individual, it's yes and no. Why yes? Is because there are certain things that need to be changed in the constitution. There are certain positive things that the Zambians are crying for, which may be talking to Fortrace here. You can talk about tilting left or right or backwards or front. Okay? Then there is also what I earlier mentioned, and that's the no aspect of it, where political parties take advantage of what the people are crying for, and they sneak in the ulterior motives in the constitution. And we've seen this over and over and over. That is at personal level. But at policy level for the party, our position is that we cannot even look at this constitution it's as bad as a rotten egg. I'm speaking from a very in-depth because of its genesis and how it was crafted for basically socio-economic exclusions, and also to actually have a project embedded into there, a program of poverty, so that Zambians cannot be meaningful participants in this economy. So that space is taken for neoliberal and foreign interest and foreign capital.
We do have a call at the moment. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Paul.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Tatia in the second.
Okay, you can go ahead. What's your question or comment?
Good morning, President Simuyemba.
Good morning, sir. How is the morning?
We are okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
No, I just wanted to drive 2 points in form of a question to President Simuyemba.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I
sir.
think we have seen that the president has directed the local councils to work on feeder roads now that the rain season is done. And particularly in areas such as Northwestern, I think the road networks are very bad, especially Minunga Road. We have seen that the Kasensere gold mine is open, but the road is still very bad, and most vehicles, they usually have problems, and it's impossible going to these areas such as Minunga. How can we bring potential to such places where many people want to go and do mining? President Simuyemba. Then second, I just wanted you to share more a bit as to why you left the UPND alliance, because I still feel that they needed you. Are you simply saying there are no alternatives, or there were no avenues that you could address whatever you had, so that you continue serving the Zambians within the UPND alliance? Because right now we are hearing that from 13 political parties, UPND has got only five remaining, which I feel that Mr. Simuyemba necessitated that because he's one of those that left the party, which he was holding as an engine. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming through. Maybe you might want to jump on the questions and answer them.
I'll start with the latter question. That is why I left in I think I alluded to that there are fundamentals that we did agree upon. And these fundamentals squarely, our friends who've been gifted, mandated to take the position in government, they have not done what we wanted as a collection of people and the Zambian people. This is fundamentally that. And see, when your friend is not doing the right thing, you can't force a person who has got power to do what you want him done. The only thing that forces people in power to understand that they're not doing it's an election. So for me, I did not want to continue on that trajectory. And one of the things I did share with my very good president, Hakainde Hichilema, was that out of all the political party leaders in the Council of Presidents, I'm the only one who refused a government position, because I wanted to support him from the political side. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure this is why this person is calling. Mm-hmm. I really wanted to support, and if he's here or my friends in the UPND, I was the secretary of the Council of Presidents, so they can attest that I put in my best. And those who know the way I work, I put in my best, not even for a pay, not even for one ungwe. If I've got a one ungwe, I'll put in myself. That's the way I work. But if things start tilting against the very things that you agreed upon, then there's every cause to get concerned and take remedial steps. And I cannot contribute politically only in the alliance. We are a registered political party, and we've got a mandate from the Societies Act, Cap 119, that we can also contribute in the governance of the country. So we felt we needed a bit of space where we can be speaking not from the collective portal, but we speak from the point of M4CE. like I'm doing now. I wasn't able to talk like this because it would be like in a partnership, you are busy criticizing your friend. It doesn't agger very well because that becomes a source of conflict. That is one thing. It's just a moral issue. That's why I left the alliance. Nothing sinister, nothing peculiar, but just that. Coming to the second question, I think by virtue of asking this question, the gentleman is agreeing why I even left, and my political party, we left the alliance. One of the things that we are supposed to do was to rapidly deal with infrastructure challenge. But there was a song which I also didn't agree that we are doing debt restructuring and all that kind of. The method that was used was very wrong, because you can see that this debt restructuring has not paid off. We are almost closing 5 years. God forbid if Akainde loses elections next year, what would be the thing that you can point to that debt restructuring which Akainde did with them Scotlanders is this or that? Our view as movement for change was to actually invoke what you say alternatives to normal financing, which is alternative financing, which is heavily participatory. And I did propose quietly to my colleagues in government, there's this thing we can do. None of them, one of the ministers even called me to be a scammer. I wanted to go to court, but my colleagues said, you know how to shame people like this? Let's just do it elsewhere. We've successfully structured in Zanzibar a sovereign sukuk worth $600 million in less than 6 months. We could have done it here.
Before you continue, maybe you can just elaborate more on what you meant about certain policies that you had in terms of debt restructuring. What was your
one of the things, I'll answer it very simply. You arrange another interview where we can go in depth, but I will just mention it very quickly. Very, very quickly. You know the Brentwoods, that is IMF and World Bank. You need to go in the statutes and archives to know why they were created. If you go to know why they were created, then you understand that their structural adjustments or reform process and their debt, whatever, does not help struggling environments like ours. Then this is also coupled with what you are calling the legal framework of a country. So you find that you are capped. You can't go beyond this cap. So if you are capped and then you've got this overtowering, they tell you do structural adjustments. What structural adjustments can you do? You are dealing with what we call symptoms, leaving there the root cause of a problem. You are suffering from malaria because you've got a headache. You start treating a headache and you think you're going to get away with that malaria. It doesn't work like that. This is what we've been doing for over 60 years now. It's a very loaded issue which we must address as a nation in what we are calling as movement for change, a national compelling vision. It's away from these partisan things. It's very much away. Mwanawasa tried to attempt it, but he did not attempt to look at the root causes. He was also scratching on what is the symptoms of a problem. So really, IMF is not a panacea for our problems. It's not an antidote for the poison and toxics that we have in this economy and this environment called Zambia. But we need to look at it from a different aspect altogether. And since we are dealing with debt is finance, we need to look at the whole debt and aid arrangement, donor aid arrangement. It must be overhauled completely.
Okay.
Yes, because it's meant for predatory reasons to actually keep you impoverished and people continue with their extractions from this economy.
Are you saying that the aid cut has worked in our favor?
Excellently. It's a wake-up call, though we didn't plan for it, that at this particular point to have this. You see, I don't like addressing colleagues in public like this. But one of the things that we suggested at the formation of the alliance was that we should re-look at the donor aid arrangements, because we've had pronouncements from them. You see, European economies are falling, the Western economies are falling, and you find if people are challenged, even the way they give, should they become a challenging issue to them. So we should have started planning exits way back after 1991. And successive governments have paid a deaf ear and a blind eye to this phenomenon. So to me, the successive governments have not been responsive enough and sensitive enough to read what is written in Power FM on the board. Like they haven't been sensitive. If they were, we wouldn't have been in this situation where we are. The HIPIC was a very big indicator or red flag, you may call it. Under Manawas and Magande, may their souls rest in peace. That was a very, very big indicator to us. And one of the things we should have looked at is to start reorienting the economy towards somewhere, not paying lip service. One of the things we've continued paying lip service to is not only debt contraction. Debt contraction is for the lazy people, lazy thinkers. That's what brings about every time you don't have salt, you go and say Kaluba. Every time you don't have bread, Kaluba. Every time you don't have money to send a child to school, Kaluba. You can't live like that. Even at personal level, at household level, you can't live like that. This is how we've been living. And now we even look statutes, budgets which are being put before Parliament, where a debt component is put there. We are very happy. Look at the budget template. The budget template was given us by the people from England, and it's now a law, what you call the budget law. It comes every year, and if you look at the budget template, what changes there are figures. The template is still there from 1964, or to be very, very honest, from 1968. We've used the same template over and over and over and over, and we expect changes to happen to this economy. Something that doesn't work. Come on, Zambians. You are young, I can see you are young, and as young people, I think this generation I'm in, we've been failing you. And even the generation that have come before us have failed you, and we cannot continue. We must put a stop to this so that at the end of the day, this generation can have a fresh start, a divorce from this mediocrity that we faced all this time.
Also, now touching on, I say still continuing with debt, we do have news agencies such as Bloomberg stating or reporting that Zambia is yet to sign final bilateral deals with such as the Export-Import Bank of China, if I should say, for at least 1.4 billion of loans. So even as we are now diverting, leaving the West as we've always gone with, us taking a route of working with China and other nations, is that still a bad direction? Are we still failing?
I'll tell you one thing. There was a famous saying during the Magande time. He used to say, we are going to borrow for production and not for consumption. That was rhetoric, because the way the economy is structured, I'll tell you without mincing words that what is being restructured is for the Chinese nationals and the Chinese interests, not for Zambian interests.
So the saying of how we are diverting away from paternalistic style of aid, that's not...
It is the same thing. I'll tell you without also mincing words that West or East, the thinking is the same over Africa. The thinking is the same. This is a place of harvest. They need to harvest so that they can deal with their issues in their industries and the like. So it is naive for us to be looking east or west. But of course, we need to exist in the geopolitical arena as a weak economy. We must be alive to that. But there are certain things we can do fundamentally, not to tilt, but to actually start shedding off some of these things. And the starting point is with the laws that govern us, the regulations that govern us, and also to do away with what I would call very hopeless laws, the laws of England. We have them in our laws. Did you know that? the laws of England. So why should you have laws of another jurisdiction to your whatever?
Okay.
Let international laws, if they do exist.
This is Voice of the People. You can come through. The phone lines are open. The number is 0979
I did not
192
even talk
485.
about the road network in Northwestern Province.
Yes, maybe we can dive into that later. We are live on Dstv, that is channel 92 on Topstar, and you can come through on 0955 997 997. Joining us in the studio, we do have Mr. Kaluba Simuyemba, President of the Movement for Change and Equality and former UPND Alliance partner, and of course we are sharing his perspective on certain issues that we are touching on. Maybe you can touch on the feeder roads that the caller pointed out.
You see, infrastructure is a very important thing, and what he's talking about, I'm just coming from Northwestern and Western Province. I've been there for 16 days. One of the things that we're still crying about is the symptoms. What has made successful governments, the roads I was passing through, they've never been graded, just graded, since 1967. It's not a joke, and it's not only Northwestern, it's all over the country. Even here, you just drive 20-30 kilometers out of Lusaka in Chongwe here, you find this kind of roads. They are there. Shumabala, you find this kind of roads. So the point is, why is it that governments have been budgeting for these roads, but they've never been touched? That's where the hemorrhages come into play. And that's why centralized way of governance may not be very feasible. We've seen a bit of what decentralization can do in the CDF. We've seen a little bit of that. But it's too small a portion into a big ocean to actually even be noticed that you are doing anything. So the way to go is to restructure governance in such that decentralization, the local government apparatus should start functioning beyond what the colonialists did. We had rural councils and town councils. So beyond that, I think then we can start speaking. We give them adequate funding and adequate space to also raise. And that also speaks to some of the policies we've done. One of the policies we've done in the face of decentralization is to change the institutional framework and also the systems of delivery, where we are saying that even this top-heavy government here will not exist for us. We are saying we have a cabinet of less than 15 people, starting from president to the lowest minister. We shall not have provincial ministers. We shall have provincial governors who will be at the level of deputy secretary of cabinet, and that the vice president should be given a full mandate to run the local government sector, which the president is running the central government sector and international relations. So we've talked about these things to start speaking to the challenge. Now, with the roads that we are stressed with debt, alternative financing, which is participatory financing, is a solution. We've got a lot of unmopped resources, and the capital markets are the answer. We're calling them green bonds or sovereign bonds. They work wonders. One kwacha. Imagine 20 million people putting a one kwacha every day into the basket, just a one kwacha. For 365 days, how much money is that if you've got the calculation? Not these jokes you're having a CD of money, 36 million. It's just a joke. Okay.
So are you trying to say, Mr. Kaluba, that the money that has been availed to us through debt hasn't worked its full purpose, hasn't served anything?
And it will never work. That I can tell you with certainty of a Jewish prophet, it will never work. Because the intent behind that is to mask and extort. Mask and extort. That's all.
Now touching on to, I would say still continuing within that vein, what would you say are some of the other specific strategies that the UPND government must implement if they plan to deliver on their economic promises?
First and foremost, the first strategy is for them to look into understanding what the problem is. They don't seem to understand. The UPND as a government, the UPND as a party.
What is the problem actually?
Just understanding. You see, understanding is something else. It comes from realization. And some of these things come as a revelation. That's the Chimbuno plan. into government. Trust me on that one. They have no clue what the problem is. Not that they don't want, they just don't have a clue.
Maybe you have a clue. Maybe you can tell us here.
Not a clue. We have a revelation and a realization.
What is that
One
revelation?
of the things, principally, is that this government and successive regimes are not in control of the apparatus of power here.
Then who?
That's why the Constitution did something.
Okay.
You need to read the Independence Constitution of 1964. You need to understand the colonial legacy of 40 years from 1924 to 1964. You need to understand the precursor to that, starting from the Berlin Conference. Then you come to the Royal Charter of 1990, where these things, when I say predatory, are actually put in pen and paper in black and white. So you don't have control as a country. And they also drafted and gifted you with the laws of Zambia, which you cannot change unless you do certain radical things. There is no referendum. There is no self-determination. Everything starts and ends at a president. And if a president, God forbid, if it's a puppet president, what do you expect? The puppeteer will continue having what they planned and what they've fashioned into there. That becomes now a call for a national compelling vision beyond partisan issues.
So then in this case, who is the puppeteer though?
Pardon?
Who is the puppeteer?
The people who colonized us, the British. You've seen what Tony Blair is doing in State House. It's not something that the president is on record himself. When he was talking about the PDU, Presidential Delivery Unit, he says, I and Tony Blair, we planned on how we are going to rule this country. Why should a foreigner and a former prime minister of a colonial master be part of the narrative? You mean there are no Zambians who got brains to do things here? It was said in public domain there. Mm-hmm. Those statements are heavy and telling.
No.
Speaks heavy.
Now, don't you think we need international relations?
Foreign policy.
Do you know what self-determination is? No one would take stock and interest of Zambians' problems and challenges better than the Zambians themselves. If you have foreign interest and so-called foreign relations, they'll come to abuse you because you've given them space.
Are you saying the aid that we have been receiving has been abused?
It is just abusive. Most of it is just abusive, and most of it goes back.
Mr. Kalumba, nobody buys ARVs, nobody buys TB, tuberculosis medications.
There is
Hasn't that worked?
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, please.
Do we want, as a Zambian people, and are we proud to be receiving tablets from America?
Do we have the capacity to make them?
We have the capacity. We've negated. For how long has this HIV pandemic been here? Those are manufactured drugs. How much money have the American governments poured into this economy ever since HIV started? Mm-hmm. It's maybe billions. With 1 billion, can't you set up a plant here? Let's be real to ourselves.
Why do you think that hasn't been done so far with the previous government, the PF, the MMD, all these regimes?
We were manufacturing drugs here?
Yes, we were.
A lot of these drugs were manufacturing right here in Zambia. You sort of all those machineries because of warped policies and warped thinking. Sort of all that. All what we needed is that from that time, we could have had patents. What are these patents for? Patents, you get a patent from the person who's got the blueprint for this, and then you go and start manufacturing and you start paying. Simple. And all this cry of $50 million, what wouldn't have been there. So it is something that personally and my political party, we're not proud. We are saying this is a good thing to make us start thinking.
Now, for the sake of argument, let's say we give you the platform next year, you win the elections. What are you going to do?
First and foremost is that the industrial base must be actualized as a very, 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 very urgent priority in this economy. Why is that? We've got a lot of raw materials here which are exported to go and be inputs in other jurisdictions and other factories. Then we have these things back here and we start buying them at colossal amounts of money. That's not correct thinking. The next thing is that we have to change the education system, which has produced laborers, not thinkers, not creative people. Next is that we must stop the export, not only these other raw materials, exports of minerals. We can leverage on minerals big time, big time. But we are failing to leverage even with what we have. Next is that there are a lot of scientific innovations and revelations. Talk about medicine, talk about energy, a lot of them. I have members who are professors, who are discoverers of a lot of things. Energy we have, we don't need this load shedding. This is playing around.
Let's dive into load shedding.
Yes, I'll come to that.
We don't have time for that, actually.
I just want to finish this. I want to finish this sentence. That road construction, there are a lot of innovations. So really, what we are doing is that we've masked people with ingenuity, and then we continue. Both debt contracting, we get small commissions. This buying of ARVs and buying of medicine, we get small commissions, or we get cuts and all that kind of. This is the hemorrhages I'm talking about. So this thing has continued. So let's have people in government. If you gave us the chance, trust me, and the Zambians should trust us, that even before they vote for us, let them come and engage us, not on platforms like this. I know most of them cannot come out in the open. Those who've been to our secretariat, they've asked only one question: where have you been? I said, there's always a time when revelation comes to the table. There's always a time.
Unfortunately, we wish we could continue this conversation, but we are running out of time. This is Voice of the People, rather this has been Voice of the People. You can join us every single weekday. And our guest today in studio has been Mr. Kaluba Simuyemba, who's the president of the Movement for Change and Equality, and also a former UPND alliance partner. And he was sharing his perspectives on critical issues and the current political landscape. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. My last words will be that there's a lot we can do to ourselves and for ourselves. Most of the things that are happening are anti-Zambian people. The challenges we have are very artificial. The poverty we have is very artificial. There is a way we can get out of this malaise. It's just mediocrity in leadership that has robbed the people. But also the people have got a congenital responsibility to start looking at the alternatives in the political parties and evaluate them before they get into government. It's very, very important. And for those who don't know about us, those who are hearing about us for the first time, you can get in touch with us on 0977 77 6192 or 095664 0310. So 0977 77 6192 or 095664 0310.
Well noted. Voice of the People is on the Power Breakfast Show. Do join us tomorrow once again as we come back with another guest. And once again, our guest to this morning has been Mr. Kaluba Simuyemba, who is the president for the Movement for Change and Equality and also former UPND alliance partner.
Voice of the People is a dynamic and interactive radio phoning show that gives listeners a platform to voice their opinions on current affairs, social issues, and community concerns. With engaging discussions, expert insights, real-time audience participation. Voice of the People.